Welcome to week 3 of the Audi challenge. This is taken upon myself. I've done week 1 or 2 and I thought I'd keep going because I just wanted to share with you some of the family meals that we do, that we love, that we do on a budget. I had a little bit of money left over from the original 150 and I had some money left over from previous gift cards with collabs that I've done. So I figured that it wasn't costing me anything out of pocket, so totally worth it going. So here is the receipt that I created with all of the products that we're going to be using this week, because what I did is I purchased bits and pieces throughout the week. It's all over the joint. It makes logical sense to me, so it's okay. So we've got potatoes, tuna, steak, cauliflower, pizza bases, cheese, pineapple, ham. There was a chicken roast, sweet potato, carrots, pumpkin, frozen fish, onion rings, coleslaw salad and triangles. So a total of that of 77.11. And as you can see, as I said, we've had multiple visits because I kept changing my mind about things. I didn't do one massive shop, and so I just kind of did meals as we went along. I also had to calculate the price of the pineapple because there still was none in store, and the sweet potato I added in because I already had it at home and I needed to use it. So that's how we work all the costings out. So the first meal we have is tuna patties. So we need potatoes, tuna, an egg and some flour. Of course, we had eggs left over from week 1, so we're able to use them throughout. We make tuna patties at least once every other week. These are what my hubby makes, gives me a night of cooking. They're super easy. You just shred the potato, stick it in a bowl with an egg, the tuna, frozen corn, which we still had left over for a whole month, and then a little bit of flour. Mix it all together and you fry it in a little bit of oil. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. It's a carb, it's filling, it's delicious. Next up, we are having steak with mash and veg. I had to buy this massive steak pack. It was the smallest thing that was in store, so oh well. And I bought a big cauliflower because there was no frozen broccoli anyway, and I figured just as a bit of a change for a vegetable, let's go to cauliflower. So that cauliflower has lasted us well over a couple of weeks. The frozen broccoli did last us the first 2 weeks. So yeah, good for a change. And of course, we've got all the scraps here ready to use for a chicken stock down the track. So the steak I cut up into steak for tonight, and then we've got diced steak. I will make another stew next week. I know I've repeated it as a meal, but this is how we keep a budget friendly family down. And then we have all of this served up. And of course, my son had chicken nuggets because we still had chicken nuggets left over from before. The next night we have had pizza, our family favorite, and so easy. So we have pizza bases here, and we have up the back some leftover burger buns from week 1, which we've frozen because I knew I was going to turn it into garlic bread. So I didn't add the cost for the garlic butter or for the tomato sauce base. The chicken that is here, we had a small piece left over from before, so I blanched it and I shredded it and then I froze it to save it. We've got the pineapple that was there. I've added the cost in because I couldn't find any, like I said. I've got the ham, so we use a little bit of that and then we'll save the rest for another meal. And we have also the shredded cheese. So I didn't film putting it together. I'm pretty sure what a ham, pineapple and cheese pizza looks like, and yes, pineapple does go on pizza. And then we have a chicken, pineapple and cheese pizza as well. So I'm adding this little haul in just to help spread out the video, but also to show you how disorganized my whole week was. So this is when I decided, do you know what would be really good? Like fish and chips. And I remembered that Audi sell the onion rings, so I was like, yep, I've got a plan, let's go in and get that. And then of course, while I was in there, I picked up some more bits and pieces that we always need for the house. So I got some more triangles, I got some chocolate licorice and some strawberry licorice. I've got strawberries because we like to have French toast on the weekend, as well as some bananas. I got some more mincemeat because I'm going to need that down for next week's, and also some sour cream because I wanted some for some wedges that my son had in a separate meal, because we haven't had to be able to do the Audi dinners every single night, if that makes sense, depending on who's home. So that's why I do things weeks in advance. It gives me time up my sleeve. While I was shopping in another Aldi store, because I was running around like a crazy person trying to find pineapple at just one store, I found this chicken roast just sitting there in the fridge, and I thought, let's grab it. Perfect. I would buy this from other places if it was on a markdown, so I found that this price was pretty good value for the weight that it was. So we just cooked it up like a roast. I had to read the back of the instructions. So I've got some sweet potato that I had at home, so I've just added the value into that. Of course, I picked up another bag of carrots and the pumpkin that's there. We've got the potatoes. So I chopped up all of the pumpkins. We've got a few pieces for dinner tonight, and then we have some left over that I froze that we're going to go towards the stew that we'll do next week, and the same with the sweet potato. So we're chopping this up part for tonight, and then the rest in the chunks that you would have seen me put in the bag are for the stew that we'll have next week. I'm glad that I picked up an extra bag of carrots, because when I do a roast we eat so many carrots because we love them, and I swear there's never as many still in the pan as what they are when they cook, and ours don't really shrink that much, so I don't know what happens to all the carrots. I chopped up one carrot into rings, and I've put them in a pot with the corn because my son doesn't like roasted carrots. Oh gosh, what did I do wrong as a parent? No, apparently they are different texture. He's had them once or twice before, but he says he prefers the normal rounds, so I'm happy to do that. So here is the dinner all plated up. My son does eat this chicken, so that's a win. My daughter had a piece of leftover quiche that we had from the week before, so I just threw it in the freezer because she's not a fan of this chicken, so that's fine. That's how we're able to stretch out meals. That's why I have portion control as well, because then make sure that everyone's got something that they like, and I'm not having to cook entire meals from scratch all the time. I can just juggle things. And of course we've got some gravy. So the last meal that we have here is good old fish and chips. So the frozen fish, I really love this fish. It's nice and crispy. It's so good. And the onion rings, we had them ages ago, so I thought, let's get them. We've got the triangles back there again. I got a coleslaw, saw that on the shelf when I went in. I thought, oh, that would be so good, especially on a dinner we're having next week, like a loaded potato, hint, hint, except the coleslaw got eaten by the next day, and so it didn't make it onto the potatoes, but that's okay. I still calculated that it would have made it there should it have been. So here is our dinners all plated up. I gave hubby 2 pieces of fish because the pieces were smaller than what we normally had. If I was being really stingy, I would just give him 1, and that could have done us for 3 meals instead of 2, but I'm just keeping it real with the serving sizing that we normally do. So let's have a look at the costings, because I think that's always important. So to start with, if we looked at the 7, 7, 11 that we did spend, if we divided that into 5 meals, it works out to be $15.40 a night. Divided it by the 4 of us, it would bring it to $3.85 a meal. But looking at the cost of the things we actually use, so we've only got half the steaks, we've got half for next week, etc., etc. The cheese goes for 3 or 4 meals, ham, blah, blah, blah. It comes out cost value at $47.25. So you divide that by the 5 meals, it's $9 a night, or $2.30 per person. So I think that's a much better way to look at it. And then next week, when we wrap up with our meals, you will see that we'll have a couple of leftovers and some other bits and pieces. And that's how also all the costing spreads out and makes it really worthwhile and economical to meal plan and do all that. So it does cost you money up front, but it's well worth it in the long run if you can stretch out your meals and make them budget and family friendly as well. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed this video today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.